Hello race driver, it's Enzo with the Race Driver Coach Show in a bit of a different setting, but it's because we're having work done to the office. But it doesn't take the impact away from what we're speaking about today. And I'm going to answer a question. I haven't done it for ages. And it's from Morty. Naughty Morty. I'll call you Morty. It's not really your name, but it's close enough. And you asked this question. Enzo, I lose a lot of positions at the start of a race. Can you give me some advice? Now, I paraphrased it. It was a lot longer, the question, as you know, Morty, if you're watching this. But it's a common problem. At the start of a race, it's the fight. And I think it's karting we're talking about here, but it doesn't matter what I'm talking about. It's every single formula from karting up to F1. If you're a bit laid back, if you're a bit defense-minded, and on the back foot, when it's time to go, when the light goes out or the light goes green and you're not assertive enough, what do you think is going to happen? You got it. You're going to go backwards. The people that want it more, that are actually taking more action on offense, on the front foot, are going to take your position away from you. There's certain things that you need to do as a race driver. And I'm going to take you back now to when I was racing in a car that wasn't competitive. And this is pretty much what taught me how to be pretty good. Not blowing my own trumpet here. I wasn't an F1 driver, but still, I was pretty good at certain things. Not very good. Let's just start with that. I wasn't very good at slow speed corners, but I was really good at high speed, in the rain, and definitely on the first lap. Now, this was because low speed and things like that, I wasn't very good because I wasn't an educated driver. I was self-taught, straight into cars, no karting. So my technique wasn't great. This video is not about me, but it's just to give you an example. So when it came to that bit, I didn't even have data in our day, or video really. We didn't use that, couldn't afford it. So I had to learn on the go. And when it comes to the technical stuff, probably not great there. But the high speed, the ballsy stuff, and the rain, and anything like the first lap, I would dominate. I don't care who that driver is in front of me or around me, I would dominate. And it's not because I was better, it's because I made sure I was good in them times. Because I knew the car's not great. I'm trying to catch up. These drivers have got 10 years on me. But you know what? If it's effort, if it's me putting on my front foot and being that offense mindset, I'm going to dominate. I'm going to win. So when I used to look at it and say, right, once the race settles down, I think I can defend. I'll be all right. But the car's not quick enough to stay there. So I need to pounce at the beginning of a race I need to make sure that when everyone's close, and I remember thinking this, when everyone's close, that's my chance to make as many positions as I can. I take them all and then I hold on to the position because they're quicker than me. So I have to make sure. I also have to make sure that I know, their weaknesses, and most drivers are not that great through high speed, so I've got to be good there. When it's wet, car doesn't matter now. This is my chance. So I made them 3 elements, I say, in 3 areas, really important. And when you make them really important, you can't help but improve them because it's all you think about. It's what you focus on. So that's why them were my strengths. Plenty of weaknesses, but they were my strengths. So I know you can do this because I was coming from a pizza delivery driver to a race driver, right? And I won in my 2nd year because I focused on these weapons. So I want you to do the same. You've got to use these weapons. And if you know you're pretty weak at the first lap or the first few laps, getting off the start's probably all right, but then you get dominated. This is where the area of focus has got to go. Forget lap time for now. Forget all the other stuff. In fact, split your weekend into 2. Good example of what to do. The first few days is pure performance, of course. How to get the tyres in, track position in, making sure I get them difficult corners down first. So you execute them and then you keep repeating them until you can't get them wrong. Then when it comes to racing, this is it. You get motivated. You know what? My goal is to make at least 1 spot. Screw that. I'm going to make 2 spots at the very start of the race. And if you go there with that kind of mindset, that intention, it's like, I'm definitely going to do it, you watch what happens. You start to practice overtaking a little bit more in practice. So you're priming it. You're already starting it. Even though, say, front load the weekend thinking of lap time and technique, you're already taking every opportunity to like, right, I can use that in the race. You do a little bit more prep. You watch other races, what other drivers who are good at the start of the race, what they're doing, where they're picking them off, how they're setting them up, how they just go. It's in there. You maybe watch onboards, videos before you go. If you're in cars and there's stuff on YouTube, you can see it. Or on karts if you're on YouTube. And you start the process early by doing that. Then, when you find you're going out, you're already thinking, warming the tires up, you're already thinking, I'm going to get you. And you're showing yourself all the time, so you're dominating them when they're behind. Like, what's this guy doing? You know, the person in front, like, he's a dickhead behind me, trying to get past me. It's a warm-up lap, but at least you're in their head. You're showing them your intentions of what you want to do in the race, and you're firing yourself up. So you're primed, and all you're doing is looking forward all the time, thinking about what's going to happen. Then at the start of the race, you keep that vision up. You're spotting opportunities, and you're on the front foot, you're pouncing, and you fill every single gap. This is the mindset of someone who is good on the first lap. If I speak to people and drivers I've had that are not that assertive on the first lap, you can just hear their language. It's kind of like, I don't want to crash. I want to make sure I finish. I don't want to do damage. I don't want to pick on that guy because he's bigger than me if it's in karting or something. So if you're going in there into the race with that kind of checklist of things, what do you think is going to happen? With your priorities like that, you know that your mind is going to be on defense, and it's not going to be assertive enough. It'll double think. And if you're in a racing situation, any hesitation, any double thinking is enough for the moment to pass. So you see a gap, you think, shall I go? Gone. There's another gap there. No, it's gone. You haven't got time to think. You've literally got to instinctively see the gap just about to open up, and you fill it. That is how someone who is good executes on the first lap. You kind of even set it up. You make them go in a little bit tighter, even though it's a scrappy first lap. You make them go into the hairpin a little bit tighter because you know you're going to have the run on them coming out, and you've already made the position before you know it halfway down the next straight. So you get your head ahead in more ways than one. First of all, it's having that goal, like I already said, and you're priming it, you're getting the knowledge, you're training it in practice, and you in the warm-up, you're getting really hot tires so they're ready to pounce, and you can see other people are not using their tires up as much as you are or heating them up. It gives you confidence, I'm coming through. And the second thing is the vision, always looking forward, not looking behind, not worrying about what's going back there, because that's not going to take you forward, that's going to take you that way. Pretend your eyes are magnets. What I look at is where I go. And if you're looking forward, if you're setting them up and playing them, like puppet strings, the guys in front and the gals in front, you'll make it happen. But it's got to be your intention. You've got to go there with some energy of, this is what I'm going to do. This is how we're going to play. So it does need that kind of aggressive attitude if you want to go forward. So I want you to treat it like you're on the playground at school, and it's the bully that gets his own or her own way. I'm afraid it's the same on the track, on the tennis court, on anything. It's the person who just does. Doesn't think what if, but thinks does and does it. They're the ones that takes the cake. So go there with that mindset. Prime it now. Practice it on the sim. Like when it's the first race, the first lap of a race online, whatever it is, you're the person who is going forward, and you prime it early. And just a bit globally, I want you to have a goal as being known as the person who always goes forward. Maybe they don't qualify their potential, they miss in qualifying, fine, that's a different problem. But be the person that gets the reputation of they always move forward. Now just think now, if I want that reputation, what's the benefits? The benefits are, no matter where I qualify, I go forward from there. Great, that's a good benefit. Also, people will start to think about me. If I'm behind them and they know I'm an absolute loon, I'm safe, but I'm a loon on the first lap, They're going to be thinking about me. That means I've mentally dominated them before the start of the race. If it's in cars and you've got mirrors, you're filling their mirrors. I'm here and I'm coming through. Another tactic I did, I would badger them, sometimes hit them up the back, had a bright yellow helmet sort of sticking out in their mirror, all this stuff, right? I was just there. It was all mind games, but it was actually, it worked. And the amount of times you just show yourself, and they make a mistake, they outbreak themselves. It's hilarious, and I didn't have to do anything because I had the rep of being this douchebag that would just fire it up the inside no matter what. I remember overtaking on the grass a few times, so even when there's not a gap pushing through, and yes, it does mean that I had some accidents, but I had to do that sort of thing in order to get ahead. And if you want to get ahead, you've got to be quite aggressive. So word of warning, safety side, you're going to have a few more shunts. But what do you prefer? A shunt 1 out of every 10, or the person who always loses on the start and takes ages to get into it? The decision's yours. Take these tips, try them, be safe, but be aggressive.